Hey, this is Don and Jim, and we wanted to do another update to the executive training directors about how things are going for the Speakers Pathway Coalition and the upcoming meeting in Colorado and the upcoming launch. And we are just so super excited. This excitement continues to build as we're really, really super excited, not only about the concept that we're all putting together, but to have you on board. So thank you again for being on board. The website is looking super. Jim and Preston are doing a fantastic job putting that together. I absolutely love it. It is coming together beautifully. The LMS or learning management system that Jay's been working on with Jim is absolutely fantastic. I've uploaded a couple of courses just yesterday, and from an instructor user experience and learner user experience, oh my goodness, it is going to be so amazing. There's ways you can gamify all of the learning that people get. It's just really, really just beautiful. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So just wanted to give you an update that this stuff is coming together. I mean, the website is coming together. The LMS is coming together. All the things are really happening. This isn't just talk. I mean, the things are happening. We are going to deliver this to the coalition so we can launch on October 3rd. And there are some things that we still need from a few of you. Your picture, your headshot, your bio, and a description of your first course that you're going to provide to the coalition. We really need that from you, and you know who you are. If you haven't given that to us, please get this to us right away.
Yeah, we definitely need that because that's going to be part of what we're going to be offering there. And some of you have asked me a couple of questions about what do I really do there. We'll just give them when you're doing the introduction, just give them a 10,000 foot level, but just say, start making them hungry. Like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. That's what we need. And be sure and get that to us with your picture and your bio and all that, because we're going to need that, because we're on the ground in Colorado next week. We plan on doing some things with you together because, again, Don and I, we view this thing as like a big pizza. We're just one piece, each one of us. And we're going to work together. We're going to get some good input from you. What is it that you want us to say about you during that live launch?
Jim and I thought we'd paint out the strategy for the launch. So we've really been focused so far about the nuts and bolts, the website, the LMS, how are people going to get paid, working out the nuts and bolts of how this is really going to work. Well, I think that's on the glide path. I think that plane is going to land on the carrier, no doubt. I think we're good. So we've turned our attention to the launch. And so let me just kind of outline what Jim and I are thinking in terms of the launch. So what we're planning is putting together a teaser video where we'll get a lot of the footage when you're all actually here in Colorado Springs next week. So we want to capture the excitement. We want to capture the value. We want every one of you to have a presence in that video, because what we want to do is use that to whet people's appetites and show what the value is for this coalition.
You're exactly right, Don, because Don and I talked about it. We didn't want it to be just me and Don there. We wanted them to see who the real executive training directors are, and for you to be able to, say a few things there to the people. And that's very, very important, because it also gives all of us more validity if several people are saying the same things that we are. And that's the purpose of that, but also to give you exposure. As for the teaser video, we're going to be putting out on Google ads and Facebook ads, and we're going to be getting the words out there. And also, when it comes to getting the word out there, Don and I were talking about here, and I got to look at my sheets because we just talked about this very quickly. People that you know of that could benefit from this. People that's on Messenger, people on emails. You're going to be able to say, hey, Susie, hey, George, whoever, I think you might be interested in this. Give them a little bit of information about the coalition. Send them a link where they will be able to register for the webinar.
So the sequence is going to be, we're going to create this teaser video, and we'll be running ads, like Jim said, Google ads, Facebook ads, and all of us will be sharing it in our social media, to our email list. I'll be reaching out to specific people that I know that I've met over the past year or two that I know would benefit from this. I will reach out to them with that I think they would really benefit from this and share that teaser video with them, with the call to action being register for the live launch webinar. So we'll be putting on a live launch webinar on October 3rd. We plan on doing a dry run the week before where we'll invite you so we can A, have practice, and B, get some feedback on how that webinar goes. That's where we will show the value and we will make the offer for people. Here's what people get when they join the coalition. So that's going to be the sequence: teaser video, webinar to make the offer and have them join. Obviously, record the webinar, have a sequence to go and follow them up and nurture them along.
Absolutely. And one thing that I like to remind people is the people you come in contact with. Take, for example, like my mechanic, Alan owns Allen's Automotive. He's with a company and they do network marketing and all that. And he has to go to all these big conventions and all this other stuff. I started telling him about the Speakers Pathway Coalition and what we bring to the table for the whole sea of people out there that can't afford to spend thousands of dollars to go places and stay in, $200 a night hotels and things of this nature. People living paycheck to paycheck, single moms, people like that. They are so desperate for someone to come out here and help them get from where they are to where they want to be. And that's who we are. And when I explained that to him, you know what he said? Are you kidding me? Wow, I've never heard of anything like that. That's what we have now. And I said, I'm going to make you a member.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had 3 people who have already, even though we're not really marketing at all, just having casual conversations, maybe already have a few people who really want to sign up. And the selling this and pitching this is really quite easy. The value proposition is so tremendous that people are already standing up. So we'll be looking for your feedback to help refine the ideas for the launch when we get here in Colorado Springs. But that's basically the strategy. Jim and I, in some cases, we're going to be using our own autoresponders, our own Zooms and everything for the nuts and bolts of it until we get up and running, and we'll have our own accounts for the coalition. But I think we've got a really good plan. Now, one thing that Jim mentioned briefly before, as part of our ongoing marketing, one of the things that we're asking you, those of you who have not developed your course yet but are planning on doing the course as a series of webinars once we launch, what we ask of you is your first webinar that you give as that course, have it be a high-level overview of your entire course. What does your course cover? What is the value? We're going to open those initial webinars up to the public, and this is going to be an ongoing campaign. Whenever we have a new course, with the first webinar is going to be a high-level overview, where at the end, we're going to basically show the value of, well, if you would like to get the rest of this course for free, join the coalition. And we'll put together an offer stack that's going to make it an irresistible offer. So that's going to be part of our ongoing campaign to recruit people into the coalition, as leveraging what you're putting together for your course. So be thinking about that. Your first webinar that you do for your course that we will record will be open to the public, and think about having that be a high-level overview for your course.
That's a good point, because Don and I, we've talked about this. I'm going to be putting part of the course in there, because most people, when they come to a webinar like this, they're looking for someone to show them how to make money. In other words, change your way of thinking to some other way of thinking. And my focal point is that what is it you want to do? How can you embrace change? How can you get from where you are to where you want to be? And I'm going to use some examples in there about the couple of times me and a friend of mine, he's a businessman too. He owned 4 Cotman transmission franchises, a car repair shop. He talked me into this deal and it was going great. They went belly up, and guess what? We're out of money. We're out of business. We don't want that to happen to the members, of course, and we're going to hammer that. And when you do come to Colorado, please bring one thing. Bring your thinking cap, because we're going to sit down. We're going to have a round table here. We're going to discuss some ideas, because we need that information. Don and I do. We want to make the best possible live webinar we possibly can. We can't do it by ourselves. We need your help. And we just look so forward to seeing each and every one of you next week. I'm going to leave Monday, I think it is, to make sure I get up there.
Yeah. And so we're all set. I've got places for us to meet every day. We'll be meeting at the cafe at the ranch. We'll be meeting I've got everything set up. I've got a little special thing that I haven't even shared this with Jim. Our last morning on Sunday, where we'll be shoring things up, I've actually have us meeting in the cafe at the climbing gym where I coach. And so we'll be having our wrap-up session there. They've got a little cafe that's not open at that time, but I've arranged for us to be able to get some tables there and have our final meeting. And then for those adventurous of you who want to stick around and do some climbing in the climbing gym, I would love to show you that. So if you're interested in experiencing indoor rock climbing, whether you've done it before or whether you've never done it before, I would love to introduce that to you. So I have our last meeting day going to be in that climbing gym cafe. So, if you're interested in that, start getting excited.
Well, in that case, make sure you bring comfortable clothing, the proper shoes, all those good things. And make sure you hang on, okay?
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, that's a good point. Bring some comfortable athletic kind of clothing.
I wasn't talking about hanging on to the wall. I'm talking about hanging on to the excitement for the for the live webinar, because I tell you, when you see what we see and you understand what we understand, you're going to say, oh my goodness, this is not only fantastic, this is just totally off the chart. There's nothing out there like it. And just think about the people that you know who are struggling and hurting, people that can't, living paycheck to paycheck. I keep saying that, but it's true. That's a vast majority of people out there. And what a blessing we're going to be to them. I mean, I wish I'd have found this coalition 10 years ago. You know how many thousands of dollars I'd have in my hip pocket? Oh, geez. I don't even want to go there.
So really excited. Can't wait to see you next week. Bring your thinking caps, bring your creativity, bring your excitement. We're going to take some footage and we're going to put together that teaser video. And now you know a little bit about the launch plan. Be thinking about how we can make this an uber success. And we'll see you next week.
One final thing. We're going to drink coffee and we're going to have fun.
Absolutely. All right. Have a great one. Don and Jim signing out. Peace out.